Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. It's time for a weekly track roundup. My thoughts, my feelings, my emotions on a bunch of songs that have dropped over the past week or so. That is what we're going to do. That is what you're going to get. That's the whole point of this video, per usual. Also, linked down below, of course, is our Turntable Lab affiliate link. We get kickback from it if you use it to buy some records, some turntable stuff, some speakers, some whatever you see over there, okay? It's there and supports us at the same time. Christmas is coming up. Remember. All right, we have also our Patreon page linked down below. Get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. Our short form page where you can see our short form content and the news section of the website. Totally revamped, totally hot, totally awesome. Thank you. Okay, worst tracks of the week. We have but a one. Maybe there could have been more, but I felt like in this weekly track roundup, we can give a special shout out to the GOAT, director extraordinaire, Mr. John Waters, who has seemingly come out with a single where it's like him barking jingle bells as if he's a dog as a cover. And then there's a B-side, which is like a very raunchy sort of, Christmas tale involving a lot of punk bands and references, but, sort of like queering them in a way. It's quite something. It's quite something. John Waters, one of the best to ever do it in the film game, dabbling in a bit of fun, kitschy, campy, novelty music that, isn't necessarily enjoyable to listen to, but is fun and fun to talk about all the same. All right. Moving on to the tracks. I was meh on. Not crazy about them. Not disliking them a whole lot either. You might enjoy them more than me. They are as follows. We have Bryan, who has decided to quit touring, pursue his masters. We're going to talk about it very soon in a video, but he has kind of released some new music. High Road is one of the tracks, and frankly, not super crazy about it. Just kind of seems like a, left on the cutting room floor type of demo. There are moments on this track where the vocals are like blatantly out of pitch. The singing performance isn't even that great. It sort of seems like he's going out with less of a bang, more of a whimper. And again, I'll have more thoughts on this track and kind of the current Bryan fallout, if you could call it that, very soon. Moving on from there, we have producer Subtract, who has been on a very strong run of singles as of late. However, I kind of feel like this latest one honestly is one of the weakest and most forgettable of the bunch. It's got some okay two-step grooves and vocal chops, but not much else. Turn Your Heart Around is the title of it. We also have a new one from Charlie Puth, who is ringing in the Christmas spirit with a track titled December 25th. It's very poppy, it's very synthy, it's very wham. Not exactly like mind-blowing or anything like that, but I'm not typically a big Charlie Puth guy, and I found this track to be pretty palatable. A decent song to add, a decent new song to add to your Christmas music rotation, especially if you're looking for a bit of a sad one, and I will leave it there. All right, we also have Matt Champion, who is striking while the iron is hot with another new track. He just put out a new record earlier this year. SPJ is the name of this new one. And, I'm kind of feeling like he's giving some dark, moody post-punk vibes, almost like King Cruel style on the instrumental, but then kind of, flirting with elements of bedroom pop and R&B on the vocals and other bits of the instrumental. It's a cool mix of sounds. It kind of seems like he's still finding his way stylistically and aesthetically as he develops his solo career, and it's definitely been an interesting journey following that so far. We also have Major Lazer, who is back out of nowhere, Diplo's Major Lazer, hitting us with a new single featuring M.I.A, a single mom anthem, as it were. And it's cheeky, it's fun. The production by Diplo M.I.A. standards is just kind of okay, though, and the song itself is honestly mind-numbingly repetitive, even if there are elements of it that are, pretty funny. Moving on from there, though, Kenny Mason has a new one out titled Hoodrat, which I wish had a stronger chorus element to it. But with that being said, considering that we're getting like some cloud rap elements here, some dream pop elements mixing in as well, it's a pretty cool cross section of sounds. His flows on the track aren't too bad either. Hoodrat obviously is the title. Kenny Mason continues to push forward as an artist who's obviously very deep in hip hop adjacent, but still brings like an interesting alternative sort of flair to his records and singles. We also have Jorja Smith, who has come through with a couple of low-key ballads. The bigger of the two, at least from what I can see, is the song Loving You featuring Maverick Sabre. It's a very kind of spacey piano ballad, quite dramatic as well, at least on the front end, but I'm not so big on Maverick's feature on the back end. I feel like Maverick's and Jorja's vocals mix in a somewhat awkward way in the second half of the track, and it sort of weighs the song down overall. Moving on from there, though, Cordae, rapper, singer, songwriter, has a new single, a record on the way. The Crossroads is the title of it. He has been giving us tastes of it. This latest one, Syrup Sandwiches, features Joey Badass, and it has some kind of Frank Ocean inspired vocal leads on the front end, a few flubbed bars from Cordae that I think are just kind of okay, a decent Joey Badass feature on the back end. It's not really the fireworks that I suppose you would really hope for from this team up. But the best tracks of the week, though, are as follows. Here we go. Let's get it. We have this track that I would like to point out from this new Venus Twins EP. The track is I Can't Get Enough. And if you're looking for something that is kind of bringing like those 2000s era noisecore vibes with a touch of sasscore and like some industrial elements too, and it's really jarring, it's heavy, it's frantic, it's pummeling, you're going to want to give this a listen. This is crazy. This is some crazy stuff. This is some crazy, intense, explosive stuff. It's going to rip your head off. Venus Twins, new EP out now. Give it a spin. All right, moving on from there. Shout out to Babymorocco for having a really dope Frost Children feature on the upcoming record that he's going to be dropping. Producer over here, name of the track is Bikinis and Trackies, and it's got kind of like a 2000s electro clash UK hip hop combo element going on to it that I think is pretty exciting. It's hard hitting, it's fun, it's a little cheeky and visceral too. Following that, shout out to this new compilation, this new collection of tracks. It's essentially cover for cover, like reimagining of Refused's The Shape of Punk to Come, with a bunch of different artists coming through to bring versions of, their respective tracks from the album. One particular cover I would like to draw attention to is Igorr's version of The Shape of Punk to Come. It is very jittery. Those sequence drums go absolutely off. The riffs are crazy. It's just an incredible little version. And, there are also versions of tracks from the likes of Fucked Up, as well as, there's like an Idols remix on there. There's a track from Zulu on the record too. So yeah, definitely give this a project a shot, especially if you're a big fan of this record, a big fan of Refused, because it is a classic frickin' album when it comes to loud rock. All right, moving on from there, Ice Cube has come through with a new version of his big like kind of ego single, It's My Ego. Maniacs is the new version, essentially, pretty much the same track with additional verses from Busta Rhymes and Killer Mike that absolutely kick ass. It's actually just a bit more fun and biting now with those guys in the mix. So I'm really kind of liking, this new version. All right, moving on from there. Shout out to Frontierer, whose combination of noise and mathcore and electronics comes through on this new single. The Skull Burned, and totally like tears fucking ass across the entire track. It's just absolutely fiery, absolutely thrilling, absolutely exciting. And finally, we have Bad Bad Not Good who is teaming up with Tim Bernades for Poeira, Cosmica. And yeah, it's a really cool combination of Bad Bad Not Good's usually kind of like, you know, jazz, vintage instrumental rock, you know, I would say fusion style with some bossa nova and some 60s psych pastiche kind of all mixing together into a very beautiful little tune. So shout out to BBNG on this one. And I think that is going to be it for this weekly track roundup. Yes, that's what it is. It's the end. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. A bit of a light week, but it is what it is. We're nearing the end of the year. I hope you guys are thinking of what your favorite albums of the year are. And yeah, you're the best. I'll see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Weekly Tracks, forever.